What's up, Blues fans? My name is Brandon here. We're going to talk a little bit about the Blues and Jets round one preview with myself tonight. It's going to be a fun one. You get a Blues Jets basically reunion from the 2019 Stanley Cup Playoffs 2020. We all know what happened the last time these two teams met in the Stanley Cup Finals. Blues won that series in 6. We're going to talk about all that, whether or not the Blues have enough in the tank to take down the Winnipeg Jets in round one today. What's going on, everybody? My name is Brandon here at STL Sports. Super excited to be talking about the St. Louis Blues versus the Winnipeg Jets round one preview here on our YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, please do. Definitely appreciate it if you like, subscribe, share out, do what you can. We're going to talk about Blues and Jets. Now, this one, interesting series. Very interesting series. So the Winnipeg Jets have easily been one of the best NHL, one of the best hockey teams this year, from start to finish. They've owned the Central Division from basically week like 3 of the season into the Stanley Cup playoffs. They get the Central Division. They got a President's Trophy title as well for this coming season, and we know how the President's Trophy has that little bit of a curse and whatnot. Not saying it's going to happen this year, so we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see how things roll with the Winnipeg Jets. Now they're going to be without, at least for round one, or at least for game one of round one, Nicholas Ehlers, who will be out for. He looks like he's going to be out for a lower body injury that occurred in a game a little while back against the Chicago Blackhawks. Blues are still possibly going to be without Dylan Holloway as well. So we'll see what happens there. Not a whole bunch on Dylan Holloway right now on what's going on, whether or not he'll play or he won't play. But let's talk about just some stats here and whatnot. So before I get started with any stats, whatnot, game one, we'll talk about the schedule. So game one is tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern time, so 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. For those of you watching St. Louis, you watch it on TNT, True TV Max, Sportsnet, CBC, TVAS, whatever all that is, extra stuff is. Game 2 is going to be on ESPN2 and CBC as well. That's April 21st at a 7:30, so 6:30 puck drop for game 2. Game 3, ESPN2 as well, April 24th, back in St. Louis. You get April 24th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, so an 8:30 puck drop, St. Louis time. Pretty late in the middle of the week. That one's not gonna be a fun one. Game 4 will be April 27th, 12 p.m. puck drop here in St. Louis. You get to see that one on TBS, True TV Max, Sportsnet as well. Game 5 necessary. April 30th, game 6, May 2nd, and then game 7. If there's a game 7, it'll be May 4th. So may the 4th be with you. Okay. Now, to be to this point, and I'm just going to speak as a Blues fan right now. As a Blues fan, the Blues had a heck of a run to get where they're at. Even though they're a wild card 2, you're going up against the easily best team in hockey this regular season for I don't even know. I mean, it's going to be a tough one. You get Connor Hellebuck, who's Vezina Trophy. There's some even who are throwing him into the MVP race as well for this coming season, which I think is 100%. I mean, it could easily be there, because I think without Connor Hellebuck, this Winnipeg Jets team might not be as strong of a team, or even a possibly playoff team at that point. I mean, Connor Hellebuck, you get 46 something wins on the season this year, which is incredible. Heck of a goaltender as well for the Winnipeg Jets in this matchup. So now we're looking at kind of a game 1 stats here. Going into this one. This is from where did I have it? I lost it. Just a second. I apologize. So looking at just at least game 1. So again, The Winnipeg Jets are going to be without Nicholas Ehlers for game one, at least from the sounds of it, unless there's some development between now and then. It doesn't look like he's going to be there for tomorrow's game against, or at least for game one against the Blues. So we look at player-based playoff rankings from, was it Pucknet? No, Puck Marks. So this is from Puck Marks for this one. So the Winnipeg Jets overall rank is a 4. This is player-based playoff rankings. Forward rank, they're at 7. Defense, they're ranked 4. Goaltender, they're ranked 5. 5-on-5 offense at 12. 5-on-5 defense at 5. Shot efficiency rank is 8. Power play rank 9. And then penalty kill rank is 11. This is all this data is inputted from moneypuck.com, by the way. Their top defensive guy, Josh Morrissey, 98%, Dylan Sandberg, 93%, which I know he got beat up a little bit in the game the other night too. Took a puck off the ankle from Connor McDavid. Pretty ugly looking one. We'll jump over to the Blues. They're ranked overall 16th. Okay, their overall rank is 16. Forwards rank 21. Defense rank is 13. Goaltender rank 18, which I don't believe. I think that's absolutely bullcrap. I think Jordan Binnington is one of the best goaltender, if not, I don't want to say the best, but he's been one of the best goaltenders since the Four Nations tournament. 5-on-5 rank 28, defense 12, and then shot efficiency rank at 5. Power play rank 22, and then penalty kill at 28. So just a little bit of thought there into this round one matchup. So a lot going on. There's just a lot with this game in particular that I really like. I think this is going to be a fun series, and a lot of people are going to kind of push this one aside, I think. So we'll see. Kind of get you a little bit of an idea of some guys who. Give me a minute. Let me control my thoughts for a second because it's going all over the place. So, over the last 20 games, and this is from Blues View, so thank you, Blues View, as well for these stats too. Definitely much appreciated, and it helps talk and whatnot. By the way, if you're listening, if you're watching, send us questions. Let us know what you think. Give us your thoughts, your predictions, what's going to happen in this series. So, over the last 20 games between the Blues and the Jets. So, right now, the Blues, we'll start with St. Louis. The Blues are 15-3-2 in their last 20. It's first overall. Okay, they had a 49.7% or 5-on-5 goal percentage. So that puts them at 18th. 54.5 shots for percentage, which puts them at 5th. The penalty or the power play is 28.1%, which is 5th. The penalty kill is 88.1%, which is first. In the last 20 games. So in the final 20 games, that's what you're looking at. Jets now 14-6-0. The one Blues loss that killed a 11 or 12 game win streak for the St. Louis Blues was a loss to the Winnipeg Jets 3-1 in Winnipeg. So they're 4-6-0 in their last 20 games. They're ranked 6 overall. They're 56.2. Their 5-on-5 goal percentage just puts them at second. 52%. 52 is 5-on-5 shots, 4%, which is 10th. And then you get 20.8 power play percentage right now, which is 18th. And then 80.5 on the penalty kill, which is 15th. So you're looking at, I don't want to say polar opposites, but you're looking at a team who played really not that long ago, and they played in a good game. You know, it was a close game for the most part. You know, it wasn't all over the place. It wasn't a blowout by Winnipeg. It was, you know, I know the final score was 3-1, but you're looking at a game that was a physical game, which is what the Blues are going to have to do in this series as well. Throughout the whole series, it's going to be a tough series. I'm not going to lie. It'll be a rough one if they're going to be that way. But the Blues have been a much better physical team over the last several weeks of the season, which is really nice, especially on that 12-game win streak too, and whatnot. So it'll be tough. it'll be a tough series for St. Louis to get what they to get where they need to be if they want to continue this run that they're on right now. They're playing some of the better hockey in the league, give or say, since the Four Nations face-off as well. Now, so where now I'd like to hear your thoughts on where the series is going to be. So if you're listening and watching later on, make sure to let us know in the comments what your prediction is, whether it's Jets in 4, Blues in 5, Jets in 6, Blues in 7, whatever you think it's going to be. Go ahead and throw that in the comments as well. Definitely would appreciate any comment, any share, any like. So do that. Would appreciate it. Personally, I think if I'm looking at it, you can break this down all you want. You can break it down to the littlest tiny numbers that you want to. But I think what's going to be the big difference is the goaltending. It'll be 100% the goaltending. Now, Connor Hellebuck is the reigning Vezina Trophy winner, which it's the best goaltender. He's 31, same age as Jordan Binnington. He went 47, 12, and 3 with a 2.0 goals against average. That's absolutely incredible. NHL leading 8 shutouts. And it's most in the league since the 2021-22 season. Connor Hellebuck is a heck of a goaltender, and the Blues are going to have to do a lot to get any pucks past him. Absolutely any pucks past him. You have to look at the same thing for Jordan Binnington. Now, his numbers might not be as strong, but we know how Binnington is on the big stage. We do. He's a heck of a goaltender. You just look back since the Four Nations face-off, since he helped Canada to that championship. The 31-year-old, 28, 22, and 5, with a 2.69 goals against average, 900 save percentage, or .900 save percentage as well. 3 shutouts in 56 games regular season. He'll definitely be one of the key numbers, or one of the key guys if the Blues want any chance to succeed in this Stanley Cup final or in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's going to rely. You're going to have to put a lot on Jordan Binnington. Again, 28-22 in the last 5. He's had a heck of a run since the Four Nations championship game. So yeah, having Jordan Binnington in net is going to be huge for the Blues. You got to keep pucks. Don't let the Winnipeg Jets have those weird rebounds. We saw one the other night against Seattle. You had that weird rebound early on, and I think it made it 3-3. Kind of later on in the game. So don't let the Blues have been pretty strong defensively over late. You get Colton Parayko back too, which is huge. You got him back against Seattle a few weeks ago, a week ago now, I guess it has been. So definitely you want to keep the garbage out of Binnington's area. Don't let Winnipeg get these little itty bitty kind of stupid chances. So kind of crazy to even think that we're at this point to be able to talk about the Blues being in the Stanley Cup finals or Stanley Cup playoffs and whatnot. Just to give you an idea, here's I'll give you a quote on Jim Montgomery, what he thought on the Blues making what the heck Blues making the playoffs as well. So this is what he said. He said, quote, I thought as soon as I coached the first game against the Rangers, I saw how much depth of talent was here. Because I thought if we were to get to the right place in our habits and our game management, that we'd be able to do this. But like I've said all year long, it took longer than expected. Now the Blues waited till literally the last minute to get into the Stanley Cup playoffs with a 6-1 win over the Utah Hockey Club a couple weeks ago. It was literally just the other day. So, it should be a great series. It's definitely a series we're looking forward to. The Blues stick to what they're doing, what they've been doing since February. I don't think they're going to have. I really, really don't think they're going to have an issue with Winnipeg. I think think they could easily win this series in 6 games. Now it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take the offense. Robert Thomas is going to have to keep playing the way he's played over the last several weeks too. We see leading the league in points or assists, one of the two. But he said 2 4-point games since or during that 12-game win streak too. But he leads the Blues 81 points in 70 games, 60 assists on the season for Robert Thomas. So that's another guy. You look at Jordan Binnington, the importance of having Jordan Binnington in net. Also, plus Robert Thomas, plus you get Colton Parayko back, and hopefully you get Dylan Holloway back. I haven't seen anything as of late, but the last thing I did see is that he might play. Wasn't sure if Holloway. So Blues, yeah. He's day to day. No, that's wrong guy. Talking about Velarde for the Jets. So Montgomery said wasn't sure if Holloway was going to be traveling for Game 1. Let's hope that's the case. Hopefully he's with the team in this one as well. So we'll jump over to the possible starting lineups, the projected starting lineups for the St. Louis Blues in this one. Oh, it is a whiteout technically for Winnipeg. I don't believe. I saw somebody said they're going to wear that. They're not wearing white jerseys. They're wearing blue jerseys, so I don't know where that came from. Look at projected lineup for the St. Louis Blues. On the first line, you've got Jake Neighbors, Robert Thomas, Pavel Buchnevich. Not a whole bunch of changes there. Jimmy Snuggerud, Braden Shin, and Jordan Kyrou on the second line. On the third line, you're going to have Matthew Joseph, Oscar Sundqvist, Zach Bolduc. So Zach Bolduc's had a heck of an end of the season. He really has. From I hate to say it. Somebody said the other day, when Brandon Saad was gone, they got rid of Brandon Saad. Zach Bolduc came around a lot, really, really fast. He's been a heck of a player. He's helped the Blues get to where they are too. He's been absolutely killer on the power play too. Braden Shin is there as well, so you can't ever go wrong with him. You got Alexei Toropchenko, and then you got Radek Foska, Nathan Walker on the fourth line. Cam Fowler, Colton Parayko on the first pair. Defensive, Philip Broberg, Justin Falk. Hopefully Justin Falk can not saying that he's played awful, but it's not been great. He seems to be on the ice a lot of times when the Blues give up those late or just bad goals, I guess I should say. On the third defensive pairing, you got Ryan Suter and Nick Leddy, and then in net, Jordan Binnington as well. They did send Dalibor Dvorsky back to Springfield, so he will not be joining the team for at least the first series, I believe. You get Jordan Binnington in net, Joel Hofer backing him up, Alexander Texier, Scratch, Tyler Tucker, and Matthew Kessel as well, and Dylan Holloway is still on the injured list with the lower body injury for Dylan Holloway. So I guess I'll kind of give you my keys to the game before I head out here. Keep playing. So if you're the Blues, you got to keep playing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You've played a lot of really good teams over the last chunk of the season. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Get Binnington comfortable. Make sure he continues to be confident about how he's playing in net. Don't let those little choppy rebounds get into the back of the net. You got to keep the power play pressure going too. Okay, you've had a pretty solid power play over the last several weeks. It's been pretty solid. Zach Bolduc, you get Jimmy Snuggerud in there. Robert Thomas has been throwing passes and whatnot all across the ice as well. And then you got you got to zap the atmosphere. Winnipeg is known for being a very tough place to play year in and year out, especially in the playoffs, even though they haven't had a lot of success in the playoffs, being knocked out of the first round in 4 of the last 5 years. You got to zap the crowd in Winnipeg quickly. Get out early, just like you did at home against Utah the other night. You know what you're playing for. You have absolutely no pressure on you right now. No pressure. Winnipeg is a team that has all the pressure. They're the first team. They're first in the Central. President's Trophy winners. So that already carries a lot in itself. That they're the best. They've been the best team almost all season. The President's Trophy winners. They're the team that's expected to win, or if not win, but be in the Stanley Cup Finals at the end of the season. So makes it tough playing in Winnipeg, but to get a game one win in Winnipeg would be absolutely critical for the Blues in this round one series. It really would be. So again, keep the scraps out of Bennington's lap. Don't let the little odd man breaks and stuff get past you. Winnipeg's a fast team. They're a tough team. They're a physical team. They have good goaltending. They have good offense. They have a really, really, really good offense. Defensively, they're a very solid team too. So it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world for the St. Louis Blues to get a series win here, but it's definitely possible. So they've been playing some of the better hockey across the NHL since the Four Nations face-off, which is why they're in the situation they're in now. So let's hope that's the case. Let's hope they can keep things rolling and keep fighting along. That's the fun part about this. When they made the playoffs a couple years ago, and walked away with the Stanley Cup championship, the first one in franchise history. They played these Winnipeg Jets in the first round as well. Blues won that series in 6, if you don't remember. Not a series I think they were supposed to. Well, I guess I wouldn't say they were supposed to win because they were, I believe, tied with points as well, like 99 points on the season, if I remember right, for both these teams. So it was more of an even matchup than I'd say now. The Blues are definitely the underdogs in this one, at least on paper. At least on paper, they're the underdogs. Now, if you look at the way the two teams are playing, Blues have got to be a favorite for a lot of people. Whoever to those who are kind of rooting against the Blues because of some of the things, it's just the fact that it's the St. Louis Blues. I feel like that has something to do with it too. I'm telling you right now, you might find yourself shocked at the end of this. You really might. So again, yeah, it's going to be a fun series. I'm going to say this one goes 7 games. I think it'll be a very physical series, and it's going to come down. I think it's going to come down to whose power play is better. I really do. I think both teams have very, very good power plays. Power play teams, power play percentage, however you want to say it. I definitely think this is going to be a tough one, and it's going to be a fun series as well. For both teams, it really should be. So if you got any thoughts, any questions, anything like that, throw them in the comments. We'll answer them as we go. But I'm gonna wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. I hope I gave you something to chew on a little bit. I'm gonna give I'll give you my final prediction. I'm gonna go Blues in 7. I think this one goes 7. I think almost every series in the West could go 7 games in round 1. I really do. So thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you hanging out with me tonight for this 20, for the last 20 years, 25 minutes or so. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share. We really do appreciate it. Everybody who's supported what we're doing so far here at STL Sports. Thank you again for watching, and we will catch you for a possible, well, we'll see. We'll let you know. We'll just keep in touch. Okay. We'll keep in touch about tomorrow. And what happens throughout the game. If we're not live, we'll be tweeting on X throughout the game as well. So hope everybody has a great Easter weekend, and we will see you on the next episode here on STL Sports.